Now at 6, why an hours-long standoff in northwest Portland came to an end without police arresting the suspect.
A GPS reroute leaves multiple people stuck in the snow.
The GPSs, they are not infallible.
Yeah, why emergency officials say the technology is not always right.
And we have some good news to report out of Harney County this morning. Floodwaters there continue to recede. We'll have more on that coming up as the 6 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We have Chris and Rod joining us here right now to start the 6 o'clock hour. Everyone stare at Rod. Look at Rod intently and say, Rod, can we simply repeat yesterday's weather, please?
Rod, can we simply repeat yesterday's weather, please?
That would be a tall order. I mean, think about how wonderful yesterday was. What are the odds of us doing that again? Pretty good. Here's a look at clear skies from the Wells Fargo camera. Looking at St. Helens up there to the north, we're at 49 degrees. The temperature data suggests we'll be a few degrees cooler than yesterday, but still mostly sunny and very, very nice. 65 degrees at noon. Yesterday we hit 77. I have today at 74. Chris, your turn.
Pretty good, Rod. All right, let's get you out the door. Quick check of the trip through Tualatin I-5 at the 205 interchange. This right here is the northbound commute. We are rolling right along on that side of town. Door number 3 takes us up to Vancouver. That looks good as well. So far, the freeway drive is in pretty good shape. I do want to let folks know about this later on this morning. I-405 northbound. Of course, the exit to 4th Avenue is still closed for a few more days. This morning, the 12th Avenue exit will be closed for about 6 hours from 9 to 3. It doesn't impact the ramp to Highway 26 westbound, but again, the 12th Avenue section, that's exit 1D, that'll be closed for about 6 hours today. Drew, China?
All right, thank you, Chris. This is eyewitness cell phone video that shows an armed suspect running from police on a busy block of restaurants and other businesses in northwest Portland early last night. That suspect is also accused of using pepper spray on an officer before lunging at them with a knife.
Now that led to a standoff that ended without police arresting the suspect. So Thomas Schultz joins us from northwest Portland. Thomas, why did police back off and leave?
Well, China and Drew, police told us that they backed off and left because the man was only aggressive to them, not to anybody else in the community who was either eating or may have been residing around this area. Remember, this happened around 6 to 9 o'clock in the evening last night. Now, police say that the decision also came after the man, who was armed with 2 knives and pepper spray, tried to hide from them in a bus shelter. Police, eventually trying to talk to him, fired less lethal rounds toward him, breaking the glass of that bus shelter. The man then ran to a restaurant patio where he stayed for the next 3 hours. Now, this all started when police say an officer recognized the man as someone with a warrant at Northwest 21st Avenue and Hoyt. When they contacted the suspect, he sprayed the officer with pepper spray, lunging at them with a knife, and then took off running. Police say less lethal ammunition and a taser did not stop the man. And remember, this was all happening in an area at a point in the evening where a lot of people were out at local restaurants here in Northwest just eating and dining.
He ran towards us, but then the police were surrounding us and their guns were pointed towards him, which was next to us. So we got really scared. We got down on the ground and we crawled into the restaurant and hid inside the bathroom. We were then told that we needed to evacuate the place because the entire restaurant was glass. In case they shot, we had to leave. So we went through the back area into a neighboring bar.
And again, that suspect still has not yet been arrested. Now, community members told us that after police backed off, police said this as well, they gave that suspect food and money. Police say they are now going to develop a plan to arrest this man in the future. They say they do know who this man is. Guys.
Thomas, thank you. The search continues this morning for a missing kayaker who went over Willamette Falls this weekend. According to Marine Patrol, witnesses told them that the kayaker tried to get to shore. Clackamas County Sheriff's deputies say the 20-year-old kayaker is from California and had just arrived at a floating rental home when he went out on the water around 11 Saturday night. People camping near railroad tracks in Oregon City first spotted him trying to paddle to safety. Then witnesses say he jumped off the kayak into the water and tried to swim to shore. Investigators are now trying to piece together why he headed out on the river so late, or if he even knew that there was a waterfall with a 40-foot drop just downriver.
There are a lot of signs warning that there's a waterfall ahead in this section of the river. Most are 6 to 8 feet tall. I don't know what kind of lighting he had with him, if any.
They say typically there are safety buoys meant to divert people away from the falls, but those haven't been installed for the season just yet. The kayak was recovered several miles downstream, though again, the kayaker has not been found.
All right, the city will soon take control of a tiny homeless village in southwest Portland, and the city officials say with that comes some major changes. This village first opened back in 2022. The Portland-based nonprofit Sunstone Way has run it every day since. Now, currently, Multnomah County holds the contract for the site, but starting July 1st, the city will take over. And it appears that city officials want to replace Sunstone Way with a California-based group known as Urban Alchemy. This puts the current Sunstone Staff Way members at risk of losing their jobs and has residents of the village worried about the future.
We will do everything we can to find other positions for folks within the agency, and those that we can't find a position for, we're going to have to look at doing layoffs.
Everybody's on a first name basis. These people know these people that they deal with, on a daily basis. But when you get all brand new people, everything starts all over again.
Our team at The Story covered this extensively. You can watch their full report at KGW+.
1, 2, 3.
The new affordable housing project in Northeast Portland is welcoming its first families home. Gleason Landing, a Montevilla neighborhood, held its grand opening yesterday. The two buildings at 74th and Gleason are designed to support seniors from racially and ethnically diverse backgrounds and people at risk of becoming homeless. The complex includes 137 homes, plus a playground and a community garden. Residents will also have access to on-site services, including job training, ESL classes, and an after-school program.
Washington Governor Bob Ferguson says FEMA denied his funding request to help residents recovering from last November's bomb cyclone weather event. 2 people died in that storm that also caused an estimated $34 million in damage. Here's what one resident in northern Washington said about the damage to his home.
We had about a 200-foot Doug fir come down and split our home in half diagonally and completely destroyed our garage, where it's considered a total loss. I mean, these are catastrophic losses. People are displaced, homes destroyed entirely.
Governor Ferguson says he applied for reimbursement on 75% of disaster-related costs, covering things like road and utility repairs, but he says FEMA denied that request with no explanation. The governor also says he plans to appeal.
A strong earthquake rattled San Diego and surrounding areas on Monday morning. The 5.2 magnitude earthquake caught both locals and Coachella attendees a little off guard.
I thought my friend was just dancing in the back seat, but we just saw the sign shaking and got a little worried, but we're all good now.
No injuries have been reported so far. The state is working to assess any damage.
Officials say floodwaters in Harney County continue to recede. So because of that, evacuation levels in and around Burns are being lowered to level 1 or have been lifted altogether. Still, health officials warn that people should not take flood-contaminated debris from local dumpsters because of health concerns. The city of Burns drinking water remains safe and unaffected.
And Rod Hill joins us now. Rod, you have been looking at the impacts of the flooding. So where are things looking at on your end?
Well, the good news there is mostly the recession is from kind of somewhat trapped off pools of water. The Silvies River for more than a week now has been just running right about flood stage. Some days a couple inches above, some days a couple inches below. And that is not expected to change the remainder of this week. And maybe not even next week as temperatures warm and we're still in snow melt season. But unless something drastically changes, no longer is river flooding really expected to be an issue. So it's just gradually, slowly improving out there. But meanwhile, here in the valley, 77 yesterday in Portland, warmest day of April so far, and the warmest since we went 80-82 back in that final week of March. It's going to be another 70-something degree day today with lots of sunshine, mainly clear looking out over the valley from Silverton. That's the camera at the Oregon Garden Resort, and clear over Portland and the West Hills as well this morning at 49 from our Rose City camera. So no weather-related issues, no fog, just beautiful sunshine to start our day. Sun comes up at 6:24 this morning, so we're getting close. 43 in Kaiser and 43 is the number in Salem. The one spot where it will be noticeably cooler today, you folks at the beach. Yesterday it was kind of a north to east wind. A lot of you were well up into the 60s. Today it's more like 57 Newport, 60 Astoria, 60 Pacific City because the winds have veered back to the northwest, 5 to 15. But sunshine expected. Our Lincoln City camera is showing a low cloud bank parked offshore, but not inland. So with sunshine, once you get away from the coast, everybody's expected at 70 or better today. Even Sun River, 69 at 4 o'clock, probably hit 70, 72 out in Baker City, and our 7-day forecast numbers. 74 today, all dry tomorrow. Remember, I was watching a shower chance. 69, 70 Thursday, 75 Friday. We are now including, though, a shower chance on Saturday, and then we expect an increasing rain chance or shower chance into Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday looks like a high of about 60, and that is your update.